Welcome to Dipsticks and Deals with Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160. Everything you need to know about cars, buying, financing, trading, maintenance, repairs, auto body, and more. Join the program by calling 513-579-1160. Now, here are your hosts, Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Dipsticks and Deals. Jimmy B and the Third Wheel with you this morning, where we talk about anything and everything automotive. Thanks for joining us, and you will be smarter for having listened. Remember, you can hear us anywhere in the free world on the TuneIn radio app or the Radio Loyalty app, Radio Loyalty being one word. Or you can live stream us at dipsticksanddeals.com or realtalk1160.com. Third Wheel.
Good morning, everyone, and don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and our WordPress blog. And for information about sponsoring on the show, go to dipsticksanddeals.com and check out the Advertise on the D&D tab.
Awesome. If you have a question or would like to get involved in Dipsticks and Deals, call us at 513-579-1160. You can send us a Facebook message or an email at ask@dipsticksanddeals.com. Information and entertainment for the American engine.
You know, it's not just because you drive cars, but because you drive America.
We have Coltrane in studio again today. Coltrane, what's up?
Well, good morning, y'all.
Well, I'm glad we found you this time.
Yeah, he came in the right door, unlike last weekend.
Well, I knew where to go this time.
Causing chaos. Hey, D&D, like we said, we announced last week, we're going to say it again. We will be at the Cavalcade of Customs. That's January 11th through the 13th. We're going to do a live broadcast on Sunday the 13th from Cavalcade of Customs. Very excited about that. That's going to be awesome. We also want to mention our charities and charity events that we support, such as Operation Troop Aid. This is where they send care packages to deployed troops. So all the guys and gals out in Afghanistan that have a list of things from the states that they'd like to have. Operation Troop Aid takes donations. They are a part of the CMA, Country Music Association, so they do a lot of events, a lot of concerts and things like that. Check out operationtroopaid.org for more information. And keep in mind that those folks out there, there isn't anything out in the suck, as they call it, than being out in the desert fighting in a war like that and having a package show up from your folks back home. It means a lot. They have staff sergeants on the ground that actually know where these people are that are the furthest from supplies and least likely to get this kind of stuff. So really, really good. We support them guys 100%. We ask that you do the same. We want to take a minute, thank our title sponsors, too. They're the ones that make the show possible. A couple of really great hometown business, such as Easy Street Speed and Customs, 701 Chamber Drive in Milford, 513-831-7550. And know that you don't have to have an old 40s, 50s, 60s car that you want to fix up to call Easy Street, because they are pros at late model modifications. So if you've got one of those Mustangs, you've got one of the new Camaros, a new Challenger, really anything, some of the hotter V8 pickup trucks, just about anything that has any available performance options, they're going to be able to tell you what they are, and they can install them. That's Easy Street Speed and Custom, 701 Chamber Drive. Of course, if you do have something older, even if it's something that's completed that you need repairs done on, you need extra parts, you need some pinstriping, some paint, anything in the custom realm for an older car, Easy Street Speed and Customs, the only place in the tri-state to call for that sort of thing. Who else do we got that's a title sponsor, Third Wheel?
You got Robke Automotive there at 1051 Dudley Pike in Fort Wright, Kentucky. You give them a call at 859-431-3733. And you know Robke is the exclusive Scorpion Spray Line dealer.
They are. They do the Scorpion Spray and bed liners down there. Give them a call, because I know they're getting booked up through September on those things. And believe it or not, those spray liners have what they call a spray season. Not because you can't spray it in the winter, but a lot of folks don't think about that kind of stuff in the wintertime, so it does slow down. So they are getting a lot of appointments for these. It takes about a day to do it. So call and get your appointment for a Scorpion Spray and Bed Liner right now, so that you're on the schedule during the season, and they can get you taken care of. I know Fear Buick GMC up in Hamilton's another hot sponsor.
Yeah, if you go up to Fear, if you're in the northern part, you go to Fear Motors. They sell Buick and GMC at 2531 Dixie Highway. That's Hamilton, Ohio. You can give them a call at 513-863-811, and you can ask for Ray Tenley, great guy, general manager there. Been there for 25 years. Or you can call him toll-free, 866-662-2107. And I just wanted to say real quick, I think both of these companies, dealerships, have great specials that are always on their website.
They do.
I think there's a oil change, I think, at Robke with Formula One Shell Oil, a tire rotation brake inspection for $39.95.
Yeah, and you can find those at www.gorobke, G-O-R-O-B-K-E, gorobke.com for those specials. And you can go to Fear's site, too.
Fear Motors, F-I-E.
That's right.
H-R-E-R Motors.
So listeners on the south end, Cincinnati and south, visit Robke Automotive for all your car care needs. And north, Fear Buick GMC.
That's it.
Up in Hamilton. I found this neat little ditty on history I want to read real quick. But before we get any further, we've got the news on. I don't know. There's a fire somewhere down this way. Looked like it was in northern Kentucky. Coltrane and I were out on the deck here, and before the show started, and the entire downtown area, you can't even see the buildings. It's so thick with smoke.
I didn't do nothing.
Talking about.
I've been here all morning long.
There was a fire I saw coming in northern Kentucky, and I don't know if it's the residual smoke from that or not, but I don't know. Somebody call and let us know what's going on, but the whole downtown area is filled with stinky smoke, and I know there was a fire. I saw a building on fire in northern Kentucky, so in any case, that's that. Victrola record players and phonographs, that were popular back in the early mid-1900s.
Yeah.
When automobiles became popular and people were driving to entertainment venues, Victor, they decided they needed to produce a phonograph that could be played in a car, in an automobile. Now, what they did was they took the original Victor phonograph and they put it inside of a cabinet to put it in your home so it looked more like a piece of furniture, and that was called the Victrola. In the process, they got with a company, Galvin, to try to develop this player in miniature to be able to fit and work in an automotive application. Ultimately, it didn't work because it was a record player in a car, but that was the first radio that was available in a car in the early 1900s. And what would Victor, who made the Victrola, have called this device? Cars, Motors. They called it Motorola. And that is the Motorola that we have today.
Well, that's just something special.
That's sort of like the first CD player, too.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
I saw that story. I thought that's pretty neat.
No,
that's
I think,
where
did you hear what I
Motorola
said?
come from.
Did you hear what I said?
What did you say?
I said I think it's like the first CD player.
It was kind of like a CD player. It really
I
was.
just want to make sure you pay attention to me.
Very seldom do I do that. But, yeah, it was like a thicker record that played, but it didn't work out because of the bump. Those cars didn't have the suspension needed. I don't think cars today would have the suspension for that.
Is that why we have the trunk in the car today? Because I needed a place to put a record player?
Okay, that's enough from you, Coltrane. Listen, we're going to get to our trivia question and some other stuff when we come back. And today we're going to be talking about famous cars from the movies, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Stay where you're at. Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. Well, this morning with mostly sunny skies and a high of 94. Today as we wrap up the weekend, over 90, it'll be mostly cloudy, low 67. There's a chance of showers and thunderstorms Monday. It'll be mostly cloudy with a high of 85. Monday night again, there's a chance of showers and thunderstorms. It'll be mostly cloudy, low 66. Tuesday should be a mostly sunny, warm day. You expect a high of 85. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Rod Tanner.
You want speed? You want power? You want style? You want something that turns heads? Then you want Easy Street Speed and Customs in Milford. Easy Street offers everything from minor repairs to full restoration, custom builds, late model mod, performance parts, and an on-site dyno for real performance tuning. Hot rods and cool rides at Easy Street Speed and Custom. 701 Chamber Drive in Milford. 513-831-7550. That's 513-831-7550.
Jerry Doyle.
But what did CNN really want? They wanted a tragedy, but they're calling it a miracle. The very same network that seems to spend most of its time denouncing religion is quick to call something a miracle.
The Jerry Doyle Show. Weeknights at 7 on Real Talk 1160.
Hi, I'm Jeff Pecora, one of the voices of the Cincinnati Reds, and I'm here with Colleen Hawes, owner of the premier casual upscale restaurant, Grandview Tavern and Grill.
Thank you, Jeff. It's a place where business meets casual in a social setting. Come enjoy our New York strips, bacon-wrapped shrimp and grits, or specials like pan-seared sea bass, and don't skip dessert. I promise they are worth the calories.
My wife can't get enough of your handmade specialty pizzas, and I love train beers.
Nothing's better than watching our Reds win on one of our 16 flat-screen TVs.
I found the Grandview Tavern and Grill to be the best place for lunch meetings with incredible food and impeccable service.
I'm so excited to be out on the patio again. We pack them in out there. Whether you're here to network for business, have an intimate dinner for two, or dance the night away to live music under the stars, this place is for everyone.
Yeah, since coming to the Grandview Tavern, we feel more comfortable than any of the other restaurants. And by the way, Colleen, your outdoor patio rocks.
Jeff, you're too much. Just Google Grandview Tavern and Grill for the latest happenings and list of music.
Did you know Fear Buick GMC in Hamilton has been family owned and operated and serving the tri-state since 1932? Isn't that the kind of dealership you want to buy your next car from? And because of that success, Fear Buick GMC announces their upcoming move later this year to their new 26,000 square foot location between Menards and Kohl's near Bridgewater Falls. Come see Ray Tenley, Fear's general manager for the past 25 years, and tell him Dipsticks and Deal sent you. Call 513-863-8111 or visit fearmotors.com. That's FIEHRER Motors.com.
If there was an emergency and your family was separated, would everyone know where to meet? For more information on making an emergency plan, go to ready.gov. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the Ad Council.
Well, howdy! Thanks for coming to Big Bubba's. We got a mess of used cars. What can we do for you?
We're looking for,
something cute.
Well, here's a beauty, a 99 model with a moon roof. As a bonus, we'll throw in a leaking gas tank. You could be driving and kaboom! Adds that zing of excitement.
You got any other cars?
Wouldn't it be great if you could be warned of life's risks? If you have diabetes, you can. There's a simple blood test called A1C that can help measure your risk of complications from diabetes. Why is it important? Because more than 600 people every day die from diabetes and its complications. If your A1C is above 7, your doctor can show you how to lower it. If you have diabetes, know your risk. Know your A1C. Ask your doctor, or for more information, go to www.diabetesa1c.org or call 1-877-TEST-A1C. Brought to you by the American Diabetes Association, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation International, and the Ad Council.
Hi folks, Debbie, Rob Key with Rob Key Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Rob Key for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Rob Key Automotive, where quality is superior, our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Rob Key and see why our customers are always smiling. Rob Key Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at GoRobKey.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Real stories, real drama. Real Talk 1160.
Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160. Jimmy B, the third wheel, and we've got Kenny Coltrane in studio today. We want to hit the trivia question real quick before we get to the news. What's a trivia question for the gas, cash, or crash contest?
All right, I want you to name the car that people used to say looks like an Oldsmobile sucking on a lemon.
Ouch. That must have been a hideous automobile.
I can't even think of it.
Answer that and win $25 in gasoline, $25 in cash, or you can crash the show and be here with us on air live, which is very valuable, worth more than $25.
Oh, yeah. What are we going to talk about, Jimmy?
We're going to talk about famous cars from the movies. And really, just to set this up, which we're not going to do it until after the news, but we're going to exclude a few cars off the list that were in movies but their popularity was gained from a television show, such as Dukes of Hazzard, the 69 Charger.
Great show.
Not a famous movie car, a famous TV car.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
You're taking TV cars out of it.
Taking the TV cars out.
Knight Rider.
Right.
Gone. Is this a test?
He's gone. This will be a test. I was shocked, actually, of the cars of the movies that we went through. I've seen, I think, all of them. But in any case, it is time for automotive news. Mazda Motor Manufacturing announced that it's building its last vehicle in the United States this week. The Automator. That sounds like from Cars.
Hey,
Mater.
Mater.
Hey, Mater.
I like tomatoes.
The automaker has produced the Mazda 6 for 10 years at the Flat Rock, Michigan plant in a joint venture with Ford Motor Company. But slow sales of the vehicle are forcing Mazda to begin offering the 6 as an import only in the U.S. No more Mazdas. They're all going to be imports. In fact, there's another Mazda on this list, which the list of cars that are going to the big crusher in the sky came out last week, and among them is the Chevrolet Avalanche, the Mitsubishi Eclipse, which kind of surprised me because what else do they have? The Lancer? I mean, they really don't have much. And the Eclipse is gone. Chrysler's Town & Country minivan, gone. They're going to replace it with like a crossover. Hyundai Veracruz, that's the little SUV that was just like the other SUV they had, so they're getting rid of that. Infinity's G25 is gone. The Jeep Liberty, the Mercedes R-Class, which was a crossover vehicle, and another one from Mazda, the CX-7, which is going to be gone after this year. So, interesting. What are you pointing at here?
Just those gentlemen that we saw downstairs are part of that Newport car show today.
The big Newport show and sidewalk sales going on down in Newport, and it is happening now. And that's a good show. That's a long running show too. There's probably about 250 cars that'll be down there. It's a really good show.
Is that where Sal Wortham does he put that on?
He does. He's with the city of Newport, and he's the one who facilitates that and got that started, John. I mean, Third Wheel. Chinese automaker BYD. A lot of folks have never heard of BYD, but it is a Chinese automaker. They have developed and will put into production a remote control function on their new compact sedan. The feature will allow a driver that is no more than 40 feet away to operate the vehicle with remote control.
Oh, that's just crazy.
Why would somebody want to do this?
I know.
I'm going to tell you. The feature would actually allow you to exit the vehicle and guide it into a tight parking space, be driverless valet if it were raining. It could be remotely pulled up to a storefront to load groceries or cargo. So you could go somewhere as long as you park within 40 feet or so of the front door of the place and it's pouring down rain, and you can, with your key remote, pull the car around.
All right. I got a problem with that.
I didn't say this was good. This is news.
That's
this
going to
is
get
just
somebody
the
hurt.
news.
Grandma's walking or your kid's
Well,
texting
sure,
through.
son.
It will not go over 3 miles an hour in that
When something's
mode.
5,000 pounds,
Well, then it's just
3
going to hold
miles
up.
an hour can continue to run over you.
And
I
it's gonna
didn't
hold up
say there
traffic.
weren't going to be
I
fatalities.
don't like that, Jimmy B. I just don't like that.
It's just news. I just report it.
All right, I'm back off.
Okay. Sad story to finish the news off today. A lot of folks have probably heard about this 15-year-old Batavia teen that accidentally ran over and killed her mother while practicing driving in a church parking lot down in Newport.
That's terrible.
It is. And police say that there was like a bizarre chain of events that led up to the accident. She drove through a fence, out into the road, back into the parking lot. Ultimately, she ended up pinning her mother against a fence. Horribly tragic story, but there is a valued lesson to be learned here for parents, I think, that have kids that are learning to drive. And really, you need to stay in the car. You need to make sure nobody's outside the vehicle because this kind of thing can happen. Now, this chain of events seems awfully bizarre, but in any case, one slip or one panic, and somebody could get hurt. So if you're teaching them even parking maneuvers, don't get outside the car. Okay? Too dangerous. Third Wheel, have you got some history for us today? Because we need to make people a little smarter for having listened, like we said.
Yes, I do. In this week in automotive history, August 23rd, 1904, Harold Reed of New York he patented the grip tread for
Grip
automobile
tread.
tires to help get through mud, snow, and ice. That's grip tread.
Grip tread.
We still use the grip tread device, although now we just call them tire chains.
Tire chain.
Now, I don't get that.
What don't you get?
Grip tread.
That's what
is
they-
that sort of like this? That's not it's not embedded in a tire. It's not the tire.
No,
the grip tread was added
it's-
as well.
It's chain. No, it's the tire chains. That was the patent. If you didn't have tire chains yet, how would you know to call them tire chains? Third wheel.
I get it.
He called them grip treads because that's what they did.
All right, I'll buy that. August 23rd, 1922, a 23-liter race car known as the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty Chitty.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang won the South Sea Speed Carnival race in England, driven by Count Louis Zabrowski. That's a football name.
And you know that's well. Go ahead, continue.
Okay. The car's name would later be used in the famed Ian Fleming book and the 1968 movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah, and I was just going to say a lot of people probably don't realize that was a real car.
I did not
It was
realize.
like a 1919 or 1902, whatever it was, but it was an actual Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was a real race car.
Chitty Chitty Bang
Never
Bang.
did that.
In real life. Please continue with
Thank you.
with the history.
August 25th, 1910, Walden Shaw and John Hertz formed the Walden W. Shaw Livery Company, which later he renamed, I actually guessed this when I started to read this, the Yellow Cab Company.
Correct.
I didn't know it was this old, though.
Yes, very old.
The Yellow Cab was actually the first cab company to use two-way radios and offer rear seat belts for its passengers.
Yeah, and if we can tie this all together, those two-way radios, I bet they were Motorola.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Why were they yellow?
They painted them yellow so they would stand out,
see 'em.
and they became iconic for being that.
Right.
Ultimately, ended up they manufactured their own cab car.
They used to be checkered ones too, right?
Well, there was the
That
checkered cab
yeah.
company, but they weren't literally checkered.
Oh no.
On August 26, 1957, the Ford Motor Company produces the first Edsel automobile. Named after Henry Ford's son, which I did not know, Edsel Bryant Ford. The Edsel was only produced for 3 years due to the poor sales. However, because of limited production, it is now a valid collector car. Really?
I wasn't listening to you. Would you? What car are we talking about?
Talking about the Edsel. I didn't know his son's name was Edsel Bryant Ford.
His name was Edsel. Yes.
Okay. All right. So
And nobody names their kid Edsel anymore. And I think it was the car's demise or failure that caused that.
well, they only did it for 3 years. It says.
It was only built for 3 years.
Yeah.
So if you have one, they're highly collectible. Do you have another history point?
Yes, and this is not a collective car.
Would you please make that, please?
August 26, 1985. Ironically, on the same date the Edsel was launched, in 1985, the Yugo was
my
introduced to the
goodness.
U.S.
Oh, no.
Thank you. The car was quickly known for its ugliness and crapalicious engineering. But unlike the Edsel, the Yugo is not and will never be a collector car.
Still hurt when you get hit by them.
Did you say crapalicious?
It is crapalicious.
Wow. The Yugo. Remember that thing?
I try not to.
Wow.
It's a terrible.
That
terrible-
was Yugoslavian
Yes.
built. I don't think they've ever produced another vehicle after that.
But you look at the smart cars and these other cars that came from Europe, it's still
Yes.
it's the same.
Nothing like it at all. Nothing.
Not
Nothing.
internally, but I'm saying the size. Remember, we all
Actually, the smart car's smaller than a Yugo.
yeah, we looked at that thing. We're like, what the heck are they?
Yeah, they
building?
won't let it go.
I'm sorry.
They won't let it go. They like that small car. They like the little things.
The Yugoslavians,
Yes.
they don't build the smart car, but thanks for the input.
Oh,
Do you have anything else,
Thank you.
third wheel?
Nothing in automotive history.
All right. Well, listen, when we come back, we are going to get into famous cars from the movies and have a little bit of fun. Join us at 513-579-1160. You're listening to Jimmy B, the third wheel, and Kenny Coltrane.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
Real Talk 1160.
Get in the road. Come on now. In the middle of the road, yeah.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. Well, this morning, look for mostly sunny skies at a high of 94. Today, as we wrap up the weekend, over 90 at most of the county, low 67. There's a chance of showers and thunderstorms Monday, most of the county with a high of 85. Monday night, again, there's a chance of showers and thunderstorms, most of the county, low 66. Tuesday should be a mostly sunny, warm day. You expect a high of 85. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Rod Tanner.
Since the day I stopped drinking, my life has gotten better and better. I can't take any credit for it. It just seems that without alcohol, I think better, I'm more careful with money, I watch what I say, I don't get into trouble like I did when I was drinking. It's scary trying to walk through life alone, and today I have that very distinct feeling that I don't ever have to be alone again. Alcoholics Anonymous. It works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
Laura Ingram?
Yeah, ding, 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 ding.
We've got an app for that.
Oh, fantastic.
Download TuneIn Radio for your Android, iPhone, or BlackBerry. And listen to Real Talk 1160 anywhere, anytime.
Your healthy radio addiction.
How's the expansion plans going for your business?
Oh, I'm holding off until the economy improves.
Really? Are your competitors on hold for the next few years?
Well,
I'm not waiting. I called General Steel Corporation. Their steel buildings have been used for businesses, churches, and schools around the world. They showed me how to save real money on a building designed for my needs and to my specifications. I can actually operate more efficiently in a building they helped me design, while my competitors are sitting on the sidelines waiting for economic change. I'm going to make my own change and take market share. When this economy turns around, I'll be in the lead. Come on, you didn't start your business by waiting for someone to tell you when the time is right. Stop sitting on your hands and pick up the phone. And ask about these rebates that can save you up to $20,000.
Call 800-215-2418, 800-215-2418. That's 800-215-2418.
Hey folks, Jimmy B here. Did you know that one of the most important structural aspects of your vehicle is the windshield? It accounts for almost 50% of the rollover strength. That's why you must choose the right company for windshield repair and replacement, and that's Mel's Auto Glass. Mel's Auto Glass has certified professionals serving the tri-state for more than 25 years. Don't trust something so important to anyone else. The experts at Mel's Auto Glass for quality, value, and peace of mind. Call 513-563-7771. That's 513-563-7771.
Savage.
The only cure for extreme liberalism is shock therapy, massive doses of psychotropics, and hopefully years of re-education.
Michael Savage, weekdays at noon on Real Talk 1160.
Hey, it's the Wild Man from my new favorite hangout, Willie's Sports Cafe in Covington. If you love sports, you'll love Willie's in Covington. They've got sports on flat screens in the restaurant and the bar. Before the Reds game, take the Willie's shuttle to the ballpark for $3. Then back to Willie's to celebrate a Reds win. If you love food, you'll love Willie's in Covington. All appetizers are just $5 every day from 1 to 7. And daily specials like Monday's Burger Madness, a half-pound burger, waffle fries, and a drink for just $7. Tuesdays, Chicken Madness, a chicken sandwich, waffle fries, and a drink for $7. And Wednesdays, Bang Bang Shrimp, just $5. If you love drinks, you'll love Willie's in Covington. The best happy hour every day from 1 to 7. $2 domestic pints and bottles, $3 domestic drafts, well drinks, and house wine. And check out Willie's Outdoor Deck. Enjoy all Willie's has to offer and the great summer weather at the same time. Take it from the Wild Man. You're going to love Willie's Sports Cafe in Covington, just over the Prince Spence Bridge on 75 South, or visit williescovington.com.
Hi folks, Debbie, Rob Key with Rob Key Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Rob Key for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Rob Key Automotive, where quality is superior, our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Rob Key and see why our customers are always smiling. Rob Key Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at GoRobKey.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Michael Savage, weekdays noon to 3. Real Talk 1160.
Welcome back to Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160. Give us a call at 513-579-1160. Shoot us an email at ask@dipsticksanddeals.com. We are shifting into first gear in the show today, and we're talking about famous movie cars. This was kind of fun to research. Like I said earlier, it seems like, and I'll let you know when we go through the list, I think I've seen every single one of these movies on this list. We're going to start in 1995, and this is in no particular order, by the way. But in 1995, there was a 1967 Plymouth Belvedere GTX convertible. Anybody know what movie that was from?
Yep.
What movie?
Ain't that the one where that deer was in the back seat and it pops through the top of it?
That's right. Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy, that's it.
Tommy Boy was the movie. Chris Farley, David Spade. There's some neat things about this car in this movie. For one, there's a point in the movie where Tommy says that he dropped in a 446 pack, but when the car's wrecked and they open the hood later in the movie, it's actually just a standard 440 with a single carburetor. Of course, only guys like me would notice that sort of thing, but It's not a six-pack car. In fact, the car that they drove, the original, was still in the pristine condition that it was in the movie. They didn't destroy it. They used other cars that were similar bodies. In fact, you mentioned the deer in the car. When it pops out of the car finally and is standing on the back of the car, that's not a Belvedere at all. It's an Imperial. It's a totally different car, but they show the movie. In the movie, they show it so fast you can't tell. But if you see a still photo, it doesn't even look like the same car.
Oh.
It's the same color, but it's actually a totally different car. It's a longer, bigger car. It's called a Chrysler Imperial. The original car wasn't a GTX either. It was made to be a GTX in the movie, but it was really a standard Belvedere that had the badging and the hood scoops and all that stuff on it. So, sorry to inform you.
Movie magic.
Callahan
Yes, it
Brakes, is that a real company?
I don't think it is. I think that's fictitious.
Seemed
Tommy
real.
Callahan. It did seem real. Let's jump to 2006. There was a 1969 Chevrolet Malibu. Had a number 13 on the door. It was black with a gold stripe. Of course.
Wait a minute. Is that a Volkswagen?
No. It's a Chevrolet Malibu,
Oh.
and that belonged to Ricky Bobby's dad.
Yeah.
Yes, Talladega Nights.
Had the cougar head, didn't it?
Yes, had to put the cougar in the car.
That's what it was, a cougar.
Will Ferrell.
That's right.
And he had to learn how to drive. What did he have to do? Suppress the fear?
Blindfold himself.
Yeah, he had to
Put a cougar in a car.
Put a cougar in a
Suppress
car and
the fear.
ignore the fear.
And he did it.
Suppress the
Well, he ran into
fear.
a house.
That was he ran into a
But
house
he did
first
it.
time.
I wouldn't have got in that car.
That was awesome. How about 2002, 1967 Pontiac GTO, the movie Triple X.
I don't remember the car with Vin Diesel. Was it the black one?
It's like a deep purple, dark purple. It looks black, but it's purple.
That's a good band.
What's a good band?
Deep Purple.
Oh, okay, yes. It is a good band. Was a good band. But the movie Triple X had a 1967 Pontiac GTO, which became famous in that. And, of course, there's movies that are actually about cars, and the car is in their title. So in 2008, Clint Eastwood drove a Gran Torino Sport in the movie Gran Torino.
No, that was a legit car.
That was a legitimate car. I don't know that it was. I don't know that it had the setup that they portrayed in the movie, because that car was available a lot of different options.
Okay.
I think they only produced about 92,000 of them with the big motor option, and I don't know if they was supposed to be what it was in the movie Gran Torino, but that was a pretty cool movie. Let the kid drive the car to prom and all that kind of stuff.
That was nice.
Highly unlikely that would ever happen. It's probably a $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 car. Just my opinion.
All right.
1992. 92, we're going to go backward a little bit. The Mirthmobile.
The what?
The Mirthmobile.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
Pacer.
1976 AMC Pacer. Remember that car was that powder blue, and it had the, right out of the front wheel wells had the flames
coming out. Yeah. That's where they were singing that Queen song.
Yes. Yes. Why don't you sing that for us? Go ahead.
I can't sing, and I don't know words to songs.
Okay. The original car became famous in this 1969 film, the 68 Mini Cooper S. The Italian Job.
The original.
The original Italian Job movie. Of course, the new Mini that's out now was made popular again in the movie
Italian Job with Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
He had three of them.
Yeah, and that was in
Four.
like what was that? 07, 08?
Yeah, it was,
that movie came out, I think. But the original was the 68 Mini Cooper S in the 69 movie, The Italian Job. The year was 2000. This is an easy one because we talk about this a lot. The year was 2000. Has to do with Nicolas Cage and a 67 Shelby GT500.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Now, there was something special about this car, wasn't that he needed to get it? I mean, the reason he wanted to get it?
The one that eluded him. He was always he always got caught trying to steal this car, or something bad happened. It was his...
it had a name, didn't it?
Eleanor.
Eleanor.
This is the car that he could never get, and that was the reason that he had to be the one to actually get this car, which he tore the crap out of it and all that. But he did show up at the dock with it, so it didn't get away that time. 1986... There was a 1950 Mercury Monterey that Sly Stallone drove.
That was that matte black.
Yes, it was.
Cobra.
Yeah.
That's right. The movie was Cobra. Nice job, Coltrane.
Thank you.
Did you like that movie?
No.
Okay. 1973. This is my favorite on the list. A 1932 Ford 5-window coupe. That was John Milner's car in American Graffiti.
They had a ton of great cars in that show.
They did. And you know what was awesome? This car was kind of neat, and unless you know that the history of the time, which was what the movie was about, teenagers in the 50s, that car, unlike cars you see at car shows now, if you see a 3 or 5 window coupe at a car show like we did out at Easy Street, they didn't have any fenders on them. They were open wheel. Back in the mid to late 50s, there was a lot of regulation from the DOT that cars had to have fenders. So what guys would do, just like Milner's 32, had those little bicycle-looking fenders on the front wheels and them half fenders in the back. That's the reason they put those on that car for that movie, to make it more realistic, because that was a big thing. Guys were trying to figure out ways to fudge fenders on cars and be legal, because the cops would pull you over and give you a ticket if you didn't have fenders. So I thought that was kind of neat. Something else that was neat too, not knowing the movie would be such a success. After the movie, they couldn't sell those cars. They tried to sell them, and they actually sold this 32 coupe that Milner drove for $1,500.
Nice.
Isn't that amazing? In fact, it's all been restored and fixed up to its previous glory, but the same guy owns the 32 as well as the 55 that Harrison Ford drove. Same guy owns both those cars. Wouldn't that be cool to have?
Could you imagine having that for $1,500?
$1,500 is what they actually sold that for. That was a little bit more money back in the 70s, but still cheap.
Not percentage-wise what it is now.
That's right. Dirt cheap. Here's another one. Got some interesting facts to it, too. In 1986, a 1961 Ferrari GT 250, California.
Oh, I know this one.
Who is it? What movie?
Oh, movie? I thought it was TV show.
No, Ferris Bueller's Day Off with Matthew Broderick.
Oh,
that was his buddy's car.
It was his buddy's dad's car that he ran.
Put up on a block trying to do a reverse.
I was thinking of Magnum PI.
Now, in fact, that car was a replica, obviously, when they drove it through the window. But any time that car, the GT 250, 1961 California Ferrari, has ever been in a movie, ever will be in a movie, it's going to be a replica. The reason is they only made 55 of those cars. That's it. The last car, the last GT 250, sold at auction for over $10 million.
Hollywood can afford it.
Yeah, but they're not going to trash that thing. Real cool before we go to break. I didn't write these down, but John Hughes in the 80s was huge for teenagers and making these kind of movies. In that movie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, if you ever watch it again, watch for license plates on automobiles in that movie, because they were all initials or acronyms for John Hughes movies. Like there's a car that comes around the corner with the license plate says TBC, The Breakfast Club.
Oh, okay.
It's full of those. All John Hughes 80s movies have license plates that have that on it, including one that's Ferris Bueller's Day Off, FBDC.
So you watched the movie watching license plates?
Yeah.
Wow.
I see things in movies most people don't. I'll tell you about a few more of them when we come back. Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160.
Strange.
Darling, you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go?
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. Well, this morning with mostly sunny skies and a high of 94. Today, as we wrap up the weekend, over 90 at most of the county, low 67. There's a chance of showers and thunderstorms Monday, most of the county with a high of 85. Monday night again, there's a chance of showers and thunderstorms, most of the county, low 66. Tuesday should be a mostly sunny, warm day. You expect a high of 85. From the Real Talk 1160 Weather Bug Forecast Center, this is Rod Tanner.
Hi, I'm Rick Pollock with Ultimate Air Shuttle. Proud to tell you that we continue to receive rave reviews. Now we offer flights to Charlotte, along with our very popular flights to New York City, Chicago, and Detroit. Look, I know you hear Cincinnati travelers and executives talking about us. We are Cincinnati's best kept secret. And why is that? Because only Ultimate Air Shuttle has VIP jet travel for the cost of commercial. It is so much easier and so much more luxurious. And now Ultimate Air Shuttle can get you to Charlotte. You will love us. Visit ultimateairshuttle.com now, ultimateairshuttle.com.
Public Charters operated by Ultimate Jet Charters, Inc., DBA Ultimate Air Shuttle.
Real Talk 1160 is on Facebook. It's okay to love us. Too bad Facebook only has a like button. Let us know what you think. Comment, unload, let loose, or praise away. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Real Talk 1160.
You've heard of a window of opportunity? How about a window of time? A window to the soul? This is John O'Sleek, and I'm here to tell you about the original 189 window from Window World. And this is your window of opportunity. If you have cheap or inefficient windows, you're losing money. Plain and simple. It's been so hot lately. Your windows should be insulating. That means right now, they should be keeping the cool air in and the heat out. If your windows aren't doing their job, your air conditioner is working much harder than it needs to, and that is costing you a lot of money. Just imagine how that can add up. Let Window World give you a free consultation and show you just how much money you can save. Window World, home of the original 189 window. Don't miss out on a great opportunity to save money, insulate your home, and get the best window on the market today. Choose the #1 replacement window company in America. Visit us at windowworld.com. That is windowworld.com. Window World, simply the best for less.
Hi folks, Debbie, Rob Key with Rob Key Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Rob Key for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Rob Key Automotive, where quality is superior. Our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Rob Key and see why our customers are always smiling. Rob Key Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at gorobkey.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Listen to what's new.
It's amazing that the Secret Service would do something so dumb. Now, let me be fair. You can't blame Obama for this. And if anybody does, they're just being stupid.
The Mike Huckabee Show, weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Talk 1160.
Here at Columbia Hyundai, because of high trade value, it's possible to trade in your used car and keep your current payment or even lower it for a comparable new Hyundai.
Wow, John, what are we talking about payment-wise?
Right now, get a new 2013 Hyundai Accent for $149 a month, or a new 2013 Elantra for $169 a month, or a new 2013 Sonata for just $179 a month. This is a 36-month lease. Other than tax and title, only $19.99 due at signing. And all these cars get over 40 miles per gallon on the highway.
This is National Fuel Efficiency Month.
National Fuel Efficiency Month is not an official government holiday, but it is with new Hyundai buyers. Plus, all new Hyundais come with America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and the Hyundai Assurance.
That's a better warranty than a Jaguar.
And we can get finance approval in 30 minutes or less, even if you have blemished credit. And remember, we need good trades, so we'll give you top dollars for yours.
Only Columbia Hyundai on Montgomery Road at I-275.
Call 489-2000 or see our video at columbiahyundai.com.
If you drive a car, you must have this number, 1-800-828-0159. The number to STI Towing, the Tri-States Towing Pros. STI handles most motor clubs, including AAA, and they offer prompt, courteous, and professional service all day and all night. Mention Real Talk 1160 and the first 5 miles are free. That's 1-800-828-0159. 1-800-828-0159 for STI Towing.
Having trouble picking us up? Download the free TuneIn Radio app and listen to crystal clear Real Talk 1160.
In deals on Real Talk 1160. Jimmy B, the third wheel, Kenny Coltrane sitting in. We were talking about movie cars, famous movie cars, and adding a few interesting tidbits to each. Memorable cars. They bring back a lot of memories. Before we get back into that subject matter, though, we want to talk about fuel prices. We have anything rolling this week any better than we had last week?
Well, I don't know. It's sort of all just blurry to me anymore. But AAA reports a national average of regular fuel.
Crack's a terrible thing.
Yes, $3.75. That's an average.
That's down a little bit, though, I think. I'm not getting excited. I'm just
come on, man.
Speaking factual.
Diesel was $4.04.
Diesel. I love the way you say diesel.
Diesel. This is diesel.
Diesel. Truck and Bozo passed away.
That sucks.
It does. Truck and Bozo.
Man.
Okay.
Dale Summers.
My dad and grandfather drove trucks for 41 years each.
And I bet they felt like they knew him.
Well, my dad, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a long,
That's sad.
Yeah, he kept them up, kept them interested.
Great guy. Lost his battle with cancer, I believe.
Yeah.
So, anyway, continue.
Around the tri-state, thanks for bringing me down, we are seeing gas as low as $3.52 and diesel as low as $3.87. That's in the tri-state.
Right.
Highs are $3.85, probably in my neighborhood, and $4.10 for diesel.
You guys can afford it over there on the east side.
Yeah. And
ride a bicycle.
On the high, I did see a guy the other day on the highway. He needed to get off there.
Probably was me.
I hope
It's
not.
true. That's true.
That's true. Ohio average is $3.77 and $3.97. So we're a little lower, lower than the national average, and we're a little lower in the tri-state.
You are just a bucket of information this morning.
You know, I spent, I don't know, 3-4 minutes on this.
Hey, Mel's Auto Glass. I wanted to mention them real quick. Mel's Auto Glass for all your auto glass repair and replacement needs. There's a reason that the majority of car dealers in the area use Mel's.
Why is that?
They have the best pricing, the fastest service, and the highest quality installation. These guys are good. They're not young kids out there, throwing glass in cars. These guys have been doing it for years, 25 plus, and they do the job right. They handle all the insurance stuff. So call Mel's Auto Glass. Google Mel's Auto Glass. And STI Towing, too, is another one. 485-1234. Easy to remember. First 5 miles of a tow are free if you mention Dipsticks and Deals or Real Talk 1160.
That's a great deal.
When gas prices are like what you just reported, that's a crazy, insane deal. STI Towing, the best in the business. They can tow a smart car. They can tow your house. They do it all. They have some incredible equipment, and they, too, have seasoned, experienced record drivers. They're professionals, and that's what you want. Car of the week, you missed your cue. But that's okay.
I was looking at Huseman Schmidt Insurance.
Yeah, well, I was going to get to them.
Because that's me, brother.
I was going to do the car of the week, and then I was going to reference Huseman Schmidt about what if somebody had one of these.
Let's just all have a peanut butter and jelly. Just don't fight.
Yes, Huseman Schmidt Insurance. They can insure classic cars like the car of the week that will be coming up by Jimmy B. But first, you can call them at 521-8590. Ask for the third wheel or AJ at Huseman Schmidt Insurance, and we can quote you for free through 5 or 6 different companies to find out if we can save you money so you can put into your classic car.
Thank you very much. Third wheel.
Now, what is...
I'm the boss. You're not even the second wheel. You're not even the steering wheel. That's pretty good. I just thought, I'm the steering wheel. You're the third wheel.
What car has a third wheel?
Shut up, spare tire.
I mean, only a third.
The car of the week this week, a 1970 Plymouth GTX. Not the same car from Tommy Boy. This is a later model. This is a bigger car. This car came standard with a 440 with 375 horsepower, or the optional Hemi, 425 horsepower. Options, a 6-pack carb option, the one that Chris Farley said he had but didn't in his GTX. You could get that as an option, or a dual 4-barrel Hemi, 727 torque flight transmission.
I'm raising my hand.
Air grabber hood. Considered a luxury performance car. It was available in a convertible and part of the RTS, which was Chrysler's. Go ahead.
The Rapid Transit System.
That's what they called these hot little cars.
Isn't that what they're calling that rail system here?
Rapid Transit System? I think they're calling that dead in the water. Did you have something, Coltrane?
No, I thought you were talking about the movie Joe Dirt. I don't know what I was thinking. The car in the movie Joe Dirt.
Yeah, and you know what? That is not on our movie list, but that's a good point because he had a Hemi car too, but I don't think it was any kind of factory Hemi car. It was some hybrid something.
That he made himself.
I think so. I think it was a Coronet.
You know the 6-pack carb. That's what they used to call me.
They used to call you the what?
6-pack carb option.
See?
What? Okay, it's 1-pack. I got a 1-pack.
I remember one time a guy said he had an 8-pack and he was serious. I'm like, dude, you mean a 6-pack? No, dude, I got like 8. I'm like, you better see it.
Yeah, he's got a hernia down there.
Speaking of stupid people, how about Dipstick of the Week? We have an executive dipstick this week, and I need the third wheel to read this guy's name.
Mutsuhiro Ashirikiri.
That's right. And he is, or was, the new CEO of Mitsubishi Motors Australia. Now, say his first name again.
Mutsuhiro.
Okay. As the new CEO of Mitsubishi's Australian operation, and he has held the job for about 8 weeks. In an interview with the Sydney Herald, he had this to say, and I'll read it instead of you doing it in the voice. This is what this guy said. The new CEO, I got to paint this picture. The new CEO of Mitsubishi Australia, doing an interview with the Sydney Herald, and he says, Mitsubishi product is too old and the prices are too high. I don't know why people buy Mitsubishi. What is the benefit?
Look, man. My mom is Asian, right?
That's why I feel like I can do this.
That was like a Cuban-Asian mix. I don't know what that was.
Well, I tried.
Terrible.
You want to read it in your voice?
No,
but I figured because you have that,
I like that
mismatch there that I could get away with it and couldn't be in condemnation for doing such.
That was gold. Keep going.
Mitsubishi Japan had no comment, but
do the voice.
Sources say Mutsushiro's office door was missing a nameplate, and there was an orange cone in his parking spot. What a dipstick!
What's going on there? Man,
oh
man.
I mean, really, was the guy... He had to say that on purpose. Maybe he was looking for some Australian unemployment.
That is insane.
Wow. Could you imagine being the CEO of a company and having that to say about the company that you held the office of CEO for 8 weeks? Poor Mitsubishi.
Check his mental status.
Maybe he knows something we don't. They're getting rid of the Eclipse like we reported, and now he's saying he doesn't understand why people buy them to begin with. So, very interesting. We got just a little bit of time before break. Do you have some interesting fodder before we move on to our segment?
I do. I found this interesting. National Insurance Crime Bureau, NICB, and actually Channel 19, I think, reported. I don't know if we're allowed to say other stations, but whatever.
We're in their building, I guess.
Yeah, I know. But the top stolen car list in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and nationwide.
Speaking to the microphone, please.
All right, you got that. So, what do you think in Ohio is the top stolen vehicle?
Honda Accord.
Absolutely wrong.
Swin.
What? You know, you're done.
1976 Cadillac DeVille Hoopty.
2000 Dodge Caravan.
A Caravan, really?
Yep. I'll just go through them real quick.
Okay, do that.
Do the top three in Ohio. 1994 Chevrolet pickup, full size is the second. 1996 Honda Accord is the third. In Kentucky, the 1999 Chevrolet pickup is the first in Kentucky. Wow.
Pickups.
1997 Ford pickup. Wow. And the 2001 Dodge pickup. Wow.
That's the newest of the two states. That's ridiculous. Are we in that oppressed of an area that we can't steal newer cars?
Kentucky top 4 pickup trucks.
Well, of course.
All right.
You got to have something to haul that stash away in, the moonshine and all that.
We'll talk about this throughout the show.
Moonshine.
Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160.
Ready to get your Irish on? Saturday, September 1st, Notre Dame football kicks off with a bang. On Real Talk 1160, the Fighting Irish take on Navy at 9 a.m. Live from Dublin, Ireland. Join Wildman Walker for a special pregame broadcast and tailgate breakfast 6 a.m. at Molly Malone's in Pleasant Ridge. Wake up and party with Wildman. Saturday, September 1st, 6 a.m. pregame broadcast and tailgate breakfast. Kickoff at 9 a.m. Live from Molly Malone's on Montgomery Road across from Everybody's Records. And hear Irish football all season long on Real Talk 1160. Real Talk 1160. WQRT Florence, Cincinnati. Cincinnati's home for Laura Ingram, Michael Savage, Mike Huckabee, and Real Sports with Wild Man Walker. Crank it up to 1160.
AP Radio News. I'm Tim McGuire. The National Hurricane Center says Tropical Storm Isaac is probably going to be a hurricane by the time it hits the Florida Keys later today. Meteorologist Dennis Felkin says much of Florida will be feeling the effects of Isaac over the next couple of days.
Hurricanes are not a dot on a map. They're large storms with impacts over a large area, and Isaac is a poster child for that, with tropical storm force winds extending outward more than 200 miles. So this will continue to impact a large part of Florida and the Gulf Coast.
A hurricane watch runs most of the length of the northern Gulf Coast, from Indian Pass to the mouth of the Mississippi, but not for now, the New Orleans metro area. Tampa is in the tropical storm warning area. Republican leaders have postponed most of the events set for tomorrow, the first day of their convention.
The convention will be gavelled into session tomorrow as planned, but all the events are pushed back until Tuesday. That means the roll call vote that would have declared Mitt Romney the official nominee will not happen Monday. Romney says the safety of those in Isaac's path is the most important thing.
AP Radio Sagar Magani in Tampa. President Barack Obama, in an Associated Press interview ahead of the convention, says soon-to-be GOP nominee Mitt Romney seems to him to be wanting a return of Republican economic policies from the past.
He has embraced an approach that we tried for almost a decade, and it didn't work. And he's now looking to double down on it.
In July of 1969, astronaut Neil Armstrong left the lunar lander and became the first person to set foot on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
He will always be memorable, for ages, and for years and years to come.
Armstrong, whose family calls him a reluctant hero, has died of complications following heart surgery. He was 82. This is AP Radio News. More than 200 bases have been closed by NATO, close to 300 others transferred to Afghan control as the coalition continues to draw down troops. Closures and transfers mean that NATO is now operating about half as many bases as it did less than a year ago in Afghanistan. Boston Red Sox continue to dump players as management trims payroll in a losing season. Mark Myers has this on a huge trade involving the Sox and the LA Dodgers.
As part of the blockbuster trade, the Dodgers obtained one of the game's top stars in first baseman Adrian Gonzalez, a four-time All-Star with a .294 lifetime average. The Dodgers also add pitcher Josh Beckett, a former World Series MVP, outfielder Carl Crawford, who's out for the season after Tommy John surgery, and utility infielder Nick Punto. The four players do not come cheap. The Dodgers added approximately $270 million in contracts. Mark Myers, Los Angeles.
I'm Tim McGuire, AP Radio News.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. For this afternoon, sunny, high 92. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 70. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high near 84. And a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 8 a.m. Monday night, cloudy, low 67. And a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. From the Real Talk 1160 Weather Bug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
Now, I don't want to get off on a rant here, but extreme sports? Folks, let's call this what it is. Weird shit invented by guys who are willing to die to get laid.
Dennis Miller, weeknights at 10 on Real Talk 1160.
Hi, folks. Debbie Robke with Robke Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Robke for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Robke Automotive, where quality is superior. Our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Robke and see why our customers are always smiling. Robke Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at GoRobke.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Hey, it's the Wild Man from Real Sports 1160 here with my friend Rob Bullock from Bullock Roofing.
Hey, Wild Man.
Rob, I hear you guys are the roofing experts.
That's right, Wild Man. If it has to do with the roof, we can handle it. Roof contracting and replacement, shingles, gutters, chimney repair, skylights. We even offer replacement windows.
Now, what sets Bullock Roofing apart from the other guys?
Wild Man, we are the roofing experts. We do it once, we do it right, and our pride shows in our work. Our customers mean the world to us, and their satisfaction speaks volumes. We're based on old-fashioned value and fair prices.
And word of mouth today is everything.
That's right. Our popularity has grown thanks to our customers telling their family and friends about our quality work.
Take it from Rob Bullock with Bullock Roofing. If You need help with your roof, gutters, chimney, even replacement windows? Get the treatment you deserve from the experts at Bullock Roofing.
We service the entire greater Cincinnati area. Find us on the web at bullockroofing.com. That's bullockroofing.com. Call us for a free estimate today at 513-771-2096.
This is what real sports sounds like.
Johnson's biggest issue? Why? Am I not surprised? His ability to pick up the Patriots playbook.
Those 15 catches, that's good for 126th all-time on the Patriots list right
Wow.
now.
Real sports, weekdays at 5 on Real Talk 1160. Between the economy and the price of gas, how about a way to save some money for a change? Lower your insurance premium with help from Huseman Schmidt Insurance. They understand more than most because they've been local, family-owned, and part of your community since 1976. Huseman Schmidt's expertise and common sense approach have helped their clients protect their assets and save money. For all your business and personal insurance needs, call Huseman Schmidt at 513-521-8590 and ask for Rob or AJ, or visit HusemanSchmidt.com. Huseman Schmidt cares. Reality check. Real Talk 1160. Welcome to Dipsticks and Deals with Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160. Everything you need to know about cars, buying, financing, trading, maintenance, repairs, auto body, and more. Join the program by calling 513-579-1160. Now, here are your hosts, Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160.
Welcome back to Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160. You're listening to yours truly, Jimmy B, the Third Wheel, and Kenny Coltrane, who's sitting in with us again today. I think we slid it into neutral on accident. We got to shift this thing into third gear. We were talking about famous movie cars. We left off talking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off and the 61 Ferrari GT250, a $10 million Ferrari that we'll never see a real one in a car, television show, or movie ever because it's too much money. Moving forward, how about 1984? There was a 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor. Do you know what a Miller Meteor is? Third Wheel. Why are you doing sign language?
Try to communicate with the producer.
Okay. 59 Cadillac Miller Meteor. Do you know what that is?
No.
No, I have no idea. I never even heard of it before.
Okay, it's an ambulance.
Oh, that's just crazy. Oh, Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, 1984. We saw one of those in Sharonville.
That was going to be used in the movie.
That was going to be... Well,
No.
was it in the movie, or was it
Are they coming
replica?
out with another movie?
I don't know, but things just got really strange here. We met the folks out at the Sharonville car show that we did earlier this year.
Yeah, and he said...
He had an exact replica of this 59 millimeter Ghostbuster car.
That they're using in a new movie that's coming out.
They are going to make a new Ghostbusters movie, and they have been talking to this guy who lives here in the tri-state about using this car that he built, and I'm telling you what, it is identical.
Yeah.
And it took him how long? 9 years?
I don't know, but far as specs goes, like you said, it's
perfect.
It's perfect. It's identical down to the original one that was done in the
He's
movie.
actually got signers on the car from the
Bill
actors.
Murray and those guys are all.
They actually
But it's
signed
really,
the car.
really small, right? You said millimeters?
No, it's a Cadillac Miller, M-I-L-L, Miller Meteor.
Oh, a meteor.
Not millimeter.
Ow.
Only on the west side you say meteor.
All right, let's fall backward to 1968. There was a 1968 Ford Mustang GT390. It was green.
The Bullet.
The Bullet from the movie Bullet.
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen. This was a hot car, too. And they've actually made that new body style Mustang. They've created a Bullet edition of that.
And I asked you, what is the Bullet? What does that signify?
It's the 390 4-speed option with the big gear in the back. It's got the blacked out wheels on it. Very cool looking.
Now, isn't there something weird about this car?
There's no chrome on it.
Something weird to this car, though.
About the original movie car?
It's
green.
No, but didn't something happen to it or something? Or?
Well, the original movie car, unlike the rest of these cars that were either sold or are in museums owned by movie buffs paying a premium for these cars, this particular 68 Mustang, the original Bullet car from the Steve McQueen movie, is actually in storage secretly, almost in hiding, if you will, in the state of Kentucky. I can't tell you if it's northern Kentucky. I can only tell you that in the state of Kentucky, this car is in a climate-controlled storage facility. The owner doesn't want the car out. He doesn't want it to be. He thinks it adds to the mystique of the vehicle and its value, and it probably does. In fact, there were some folks who happened upon this car. I guess they had heard, because you couldn't keep something like that totally secret. They found the car, took snapshots from the guy's driveway of the car, and he came out and actually paid them for the camera so that they couldn't publish the pictures.
Sort of obsessive, like.
It is, but man, I couldn't own a car. If I had the original Steve McQueen Bullet car, it'd be out in the parking garage right now. I would drive it every day, and I would drive it hard, just like he did in the movie. 1985, we were talking about this last week. 1985, the movie Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox, of course, the car star of that movie was the 1981 DeLorean DMC-12.
I've driven one of those before. Have you ever driven one?
I've never driven one.
You know, I don't know.
Not all that.
I wasn't sold on it.
The neatest thing about the car, or I think what made it neat to everybody, was the gull wing doors.
Right. And the look. I mean,
the fact that it was stainless steel.
Yeah, low profile.
Right. Now, I did see one. There was a guy running around here years ago that had one that was red. I guess the repair of the stainless steel body was so expensive, and you can't get any kind of fenders or parts for this. He apparently ran into a mailbox with it or something. Put the wrong date in the flux capacitor, I guess, and but he damaged it and he couldn't get it fixed, so he had no choice but to have it body worked and painted. So he painted it red. And to be honest with you, the car looked better red, I thought, than it does stainless steel color, original, the DeLorean. 1964. Going way back, the movie Goldfinger, and this is probably one of the most popular or most known movie cars, is the 63 Aston Martin DB5.
Wasn't that sort of like a powder, not a powder blue, but like a
silver
bullet looking?
Yeah, the DB5. What a cool car, man. Any Aston Martin, really, in any movie is going to be a highlight.
Roger Moore or Sean Connery?
Sean Connery.
Well, definitely.
Oh. You know, I'm actually a limited impressionist.
You are?
And that doesn't mean I'm limited to the people that I can do. It's limited to the things I can say as people. Like you just mentioned Sean Connery.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Let's try it.
The only thing I can say with being Sean Connery is moist and delicious. Isn't that weird?
That was very weird.
Certainly.
But impressions are subjective, I think, because a good person... We're totally getting off topic. Somebody who can do impressions well doesn't have to tell you who they're going to do. You just know who it is when they do it.
Zoinks.
Versus, like me, I got to say Sean Connery, and I can do it. But what I found was I can do, like, for instance, Sean Connery. Moist and delicious. Okay, now wait a second. Jimmy Stewart. Moist and delicious. You see what I'm saying?
No.
That was really good. That's amazing.
I'm a man of many talents. This is a really popular but scary. People don't like to talk about this car from the movies. In 1983, there was a 1958 Plymouth Fury. Scary car.
Oh, Christine.
Oh, no.
That show was not scary.
Dude, I'm telling you, when the car painted itself black, however it did that from red, that was an evil-looking car.
You know what the problem I had with that movie?
It was a car that had its own mind.
Also, if you just move to the left, it will miss you. If you don't run straight line away from it, it won't. It will hit you. If you just
you get zigzag like an alligator chasing.
Just move to the left. I mean, come on, really? It doesn't have a steering radius of like 0.
Thank you, Roger Ebert. We
you
appreciate
run up a tree.
That. How about this one? And this one's probably got the longest run of any of the popular movie cars. It started in 1968 with a 1964 VW Beetle. Herbie the Love Bug.
Herbie the Love Bug.
They brought that back.
They did bring it back.
They should bring that back.
No, well, the car, and it wasn't the same car, obviously. It's had a lot of changes over the years. But since 1968, there have been 6 films total with Herbie the Love Bug through the latest that you're talking about in 2005.
Doesn't that car
But didn't
fly?
they bring some of these back? Didn't they make some of these in Mexico?
Well, they did, but they weren't Herbie Love Bug.
Does it fly?
I'm just trying to remember in the 60s.
That's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang Coltrane.
No,
Herbie flew.
It did, didn't it?
We're going to have to Google that, and we'll have the answer when we come back. Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the tri-state. For this afternoon, sunny, high 92. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 70. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high near 84. And a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 8 a.m. Monday night, cloudy, low 67. And a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. From the Real Talk 1160 WeatherBug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
How about real car talk? Maintenance and repairs, buying and selling, hot rods and cool rides, performance, off-road, and auto racing. How about Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160, the show that's anything and everything automotive, every Sunday morning from 9 to 11. With me, your host, Jimmy B, and the Third Wheel, you'll get industry insight, cool trends, tips and tricks, and a whole lot more. For an entertaining and engaging look into the automotive world, listen to Dipsticks and Deals every Sunday morning at 9 on Real Talk 1160. You'll be smarter for having listened.
Dennis Miller? We've got an app for that.
I'm the guy who can't seem to figure out how to turn his radio down.
Download TuneIn Radio for your Android, iPhone, or BlackBerry and listen to Real Talk 1160 anytime, anywhere.
Reincarnation Auto Body and Paint of Northern Kentucky. This is Don. May I help you?
Don, this is Rick from 1160, man.
Hey, Rick. How are you doing?
Not good. Okay, long story short, Pecoro loaned me his car to go pick up his dry cleaning, and on my way out, I backed right into a light pole. He is going to kill me.
All right, Rick. Settle down. Bring it in. I'll personally inspect the damage. I'm positive we can take care of it with no problem at all.
You are the man. But Don, this has to stay between me and you.
Hi, I'm Don Metalka, owner of Reincarnation Auto Body and Paint. Bring your damaged vehicle, and I will personally take the time to show you why Reincarnation is different. We're flexible with your deductible, and I know my experience with handling insurance companies will help you get your repairs done smoothly. Just Google Reincarnation of Northern Kentucky, where we bring good cars back to life. Reincarnation Auto Body and Paint, Don Metalka speaking.
Hey, Don, it's Pecoro. See, I was out driving in the wife's van, and I drove by your lot, and I thought I saw a car that looked like mine.
Yeah, that's a popular color.
You want speed? You want power? You want style? You want something that turns heads? Then you want Easy Street Speed and Customs in Milford. Easy Street offers everything from minor repairs to full restoration, custom builds, late model mod, performance parts, and an on-site dyno for real performance tuning. Hot rods and cool rides at Easy Street Speed and Custom, 701 Chamber Drive in Milford, 513-831-7550. That's 513-831-7550.
It's not easy being a veteran.
Coming back from Iraq or Afghanistan, I had been so excited to come home. But it's harder than I thought.
Join us at communityofveterans.org
and connect to others who are going through the same thing.
Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
Imagine you're reaching for a pen when you slip and, yep, there goes your coffee, right onto your computer. If you're one of the almost 50% of small businesses that don't back up their PCs, you've just lost data, and there's a good chance you'll lose sales. From human error to natural disasters, or even those little oops moments, there's always a risk of your computer system going down, and that could really hurt your business. Take it from Doug McDonald at the Cincinnati Museum Center.
Like every other business, data is critically important. We have over 80,000 records of donors and members who are critical to our livelihood.
That may be enough to make you give up coffee forever, but there's a better way. How does the Museum Center do it?
Cincinnati Bell is a wonderful partner, and with them, I don't worry about these things. That gives me peace of mind.
So don't swear off coffee just yet, because Cincinnati Bell is now offering data backup, part of our Peace of Mind suite. Get 25 gigs for just $25 for 12 months. Now that should help you relax, unless you've had too much coffee. Just call 513-2-BUNDLE or visit myrightsolution.com/backup. Cincinnati Bell, right here for you.
Hi folks, Debbie Robke with Robke Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Robke for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Robke Automotive, where quality is superior, our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Robke and see why our customers are always smiling. Robke Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at GoRobke.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Jerry Doyle, weeknights 7 to 10. Real Talk 1160.
Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160. Talking about cars from the movies. Famous cars from the movies. And since we were talking about movies, we got off track. We were doing some impressions. Third Wheel. You did Sean Connery, which you did pretty well at. I was shocked. What else you got?
Certainly, Alex.
What else do you have?
Zoinks. Remember that? Scooby
No.
Doo.
Scooby Doo. Yeah.
Scooby Doo.
Do you do SpongeBob too? I hear.
I get laugh like like Elmo. SpongeBob.
It was funny because during the break we realized that Kenny Coltrane can do
Oh, yes,
at
I
least
can.
one. I know
Mhm.
from the movie Star Wars he can do Chewbacca.
I can do Chewie. Want
Let's
to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
That sounds like a squirrel just got hit by a car.
That's pretty good, ain't it?
No.
Not really. I guess you don't have any others either, do you?
I'll get it in a minute. It takes me a little bit to warm up.
All right. We left off doing a little research and talking about the 1968 start of Herbie the Love Bug and the 64 VW Beetle. 6 films through 2005, and we were not arguing, but debating, did the car fly? I said it didn't fly. Did the car fly?
It flies.
What I found out was, if you guys remember the show Flubber, which was the same actor, I think his name was Dean something.
Kane?
I don't remember what his name was. But
Wasn't he in the later movie? Go ahead, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It was something about some type of flubber goo they put on the wheels, which made it fly.
I think that made it bounce. Did it really make it fly?
I think it made it fly.
And I know Coltrane said it went underwater.
Well, at least I've driven a Volkswagen underwater. I assume they all can do
Dean
it.
Jones. Dean Jones. Now,
Dean
you guys
Jones.
might remember something about the Beetle, and this is a little off topic, but the Beetle that drove across the Ohio River in the 70s when it froze. Remember that?
I remember seeing pictures.
And they said because it could float if it did go into the water.
It
could
would be
float for a
okay.
certain point.
Yeah.
For a certain time.
But it didn't.
But it made it.
We're going to move on. We're going to get into the 7. Hey, Coltrane, would you go out there and get my coffee, please? Thank you.
And
No.
this
It's
next,
right out there on the thing. There.
This next car is why we were talking about impressions, too, because of Burt Reynolds and the Saturday Night Live skit. When
Yeah.
It was on Alex Trebek's.
Right. 1977 was the 1977 Pontiac Trans Am SE from Smokey and the Bandit.
Great shows.
Oh, those were awesome movies.
Dom DeLuise.
Yeah, but the original of most of these is always the best.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was far and away a much better movie than any of its sequels. And the car changed, too, because they got into the early 80s, had that, it was still the black Trans Am, but it wasn't the same car.
And there was another car that he used that was a Trans Am in another movie, but wasn't Smokey and the Bandit, but it was just as good as about stuntmen. And I don't know if you have that on here.
I don't think I do.
Hooper.
Hooper?
Remember that show?
I do remember. Was it a show or a movie?
It was a movie. Remember, he jumped over. It was a stuntman, and Terry Bradshaw was actually in that show. But he had that Trans Am.
Hold on to your ass, Fred.
Yeah, that's Smokey and the Bandit.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, then we moved to Hooper.
We're just saying the same similar car that was used in both movies.
Oh.
Same, similar.
That's a double-double.
There's a grammar teacher somewhere cringing.
It's my wife.
It's your wife.
Yeah.
You're going to hear about that when you get home. Here's one. I'm curious to know if you guys or anybody knows this, because this is like one of my all-time favorite movies. In 1971, there was a white 71 Dodge Challenger in the movie Vanishing Point.
I don't even remember the movie.
Dude, you've got to go and check this movie out. It is a cool movie. A 71 Dodge Challenger. Barry Newman and Cleavon Little were in this. Interesting about this at the end, and I don't want to give it away because you didn't see it, but there's a crash scene. If you look closely, like if you've got DVR or whatever and you can slow it down, it's not a Challenger that's being crashed or flying through the air. It's a 69 Camaro, and it's real obvious, but they weren't going to crush the Challenger. They used a GM product, which I agree with.
Do you ever just watch the movie for the movie, or you always...
What's
going on here?
No, in fact, my wife can tell you she doesn't like watching movies with me because I will stop and rewind. Did you see that? Look out over behind his head and look at that. That, you know what I mean? So, no, I'm always looking at the not-so-obvious things. 1980, there was a 1974 Dodge Monaco made popular, and which is an ugly four-door car, but made cool in The Blues Brothers.
Oh, great movie.
Yes, it was a great movie. One of Belushi and Aykroyd's best, I think.
What were their names?
Didn't they have a couple sequels, too?
Yeah. One, I think.
Just one?
I think that movie set a world record for the most cars destroyed to make a movie.
Yeah, I believe I've read that, too, when they did the city scene and the big chase scene.
Jake and Elwood.
Jake and Elwood. Awesome. The 74 Dodge Monaco was their vehicle of choice, made popular. And here's another one, a movie about not about a car necessarily, but about a guy driving a car through the whole movie, creating mayhem. It was Mel Gibson in 1974 driving a Ford Falcon XB, modified Falcon XB.
1974?
1970.
Was that Mad Max?
Mad Max was the movie. That's right.
Okay. All right.
Mad Max was the movie.
Got that.
1993. What movie you think would have been famous, Coltrane, in 93 if it were a Ford Explorer SUV? What movie?
Oh, I wouldn't know that.
Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Remember, it had the green and maroon.
It could fall down to the trees, and almost got him.
Yeah, that would be right. That was the movie, Jurassic Park, a 1993 Ford Explorer. In the later movie, or the sequel movie, I think they had Jeeps.
They had Jeeps.
Yeah. So, and I didn't put those on the list.
It's easier for the Tyrannosaurus Rex to pick up.
That's right. It was much easier, and they taste better.
Yeah.
In 1982, a 1964 Cadillac DeVille convertible made famous by Nick Nolte.
Oh, I know this one.
What is it?
48 Hours.
48 Hours with Eddie Murphy. That old blue tore up. And then in the second movie, that car, I guess he lost or got destroyed or something. I got to quit hitting that with my head. He bought another one just as junky in the second movie. But that was a 64 DeVille convertible. This one, you guys can tell me, I think this might have been a cartoon. But in 2007, the 1976 Chevrolet Camaro, known as the Bumblebee, was in the Transformers movie. Yeah. But was that Bumblebee in the comic book, or was it in a TV series? In other words, I tried to exclude the TV stuff from here, and I didn't know on that, so I stuck it in there because it's made popular again when they remade Transformers and have the new Camaro and the new Bumblebee, which was at Cavalcade of Customs last year.
That's a great movie.
I'm not into that sci-fi car stuff.
I like that movie.
I wish my bicycle would transform into a car.
Soon,
I bet you would.
Soon, Kenny.
1983. A lot of these hot cars came from the 80s. 1983, there was a 1981 Porsche 928. What do you think?
Oh.
928 Porsche went into a
risky
lake.
business.
I cannot stand this show.
Risky business.
And I cannot stand this guy.
Did I get that right?
Yes,
you got
did.
that right.
Oh,
Coltrane.
my goodness.
Tom Cruise.
You don't like Tom Cruise.
I cannot stand Tom Cruise.
I don't
cannot
care
stand
for
his movies.
I don't care for him, but Mission Impossible, come on.
That's all right.
It is all right. But Risky Business, you
Night
didn't
and Day
like?
was all right with Cameron Diaz.
Sure know a lot about Tom Cruise.
I just don't like him.
Did he turn you down in some capacity?
I feel violated.
Porsche 928. This particular vehicle from the movie, the actual 928 used in the movie, because they didn't really put one in the pond, a good one. They put a shell into the pond. Was just auctioned off in May of this year. And I don't know what they got for it or who bought it, but that car in its original condition that Tom Cruise drove in the movie was just auctioned in May. We talked about this a little bit earlier. In 1971, though, there was a movie, Two Lane Blacktop, which featured a 55 Chevrolet 210. And that car is the same car, literally, that was used in American Graffiti. So you had James Taylor driving it in Two Lane Blacktop, and then you had Harrison Ford driving it in American Graffiti, and it was actually the same car. The last one that I've got on the list is from 1983, and this is probably my favorite. I'd said I had a favorite of the other, but this one is the best. In 1983, there was a 1983 Ford Squire wagon that was extremely modified in a movie with Chevy Chase.
Oh, that's my favorite car.
The movie,
eight headlights.
8 headlights, 4 parking
headlights,
signals, a giant roof rack, and wood panels everywhere.
And a dead mother-in-law up on top.
That's right. The movie was Vacation, and that car is hilarious. In fact, it actually, looking at a picture of it, the side wood panels they used to put on the cars in the 70s, on these Ford wagons and stuff, it actually had those on the hood, everything. It had it on the hood. 1983 Ford Squire. That did nothing for the Ford Squire, that movie, other than probably kill it.
Hey, I know we're going to break soon, but
We're
I got
right now.
I got something for you. Think about the two cars in the Animal House.
Oh, yeah.
There's two cars that was sort of stuck out. The Deathmobile and...
Okay.
But what year and what type?
We'll find out when we come back. Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the tri-state. For this afternoon, sunny, high 92. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 70. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high near 84. And a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 8 a.m. Monday night, cloudy, low 67. And a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. From the Real Talk 1160 WeatherBug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
Attention business owners and individuals who owe the IRS. Do you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes? You need aggressive representation. Call Certified Tax now at 800-440-5360 and speak to one of our tax attorneys, enrolled agents, or tax professionals who specialize in tax liens, back taxes, tax debt, wage garnishment, and collections. We won't waste a minute helping you with your tax problems. We'll be on the phone with the IRS within 30 minutes of you becoming a client. We've settled millions of dollars of tax issues for a fraction of the cost. Find the peace of mind knowing the IRS will not be knocking on your door. Protect your home, business, and family today. We know the tax laws and we act fast. Call today for your free, no-obligation consultation. 800-440-5360. Remember, we'll be on the phone with the IRS within 30 minutes of you becoming a client. That's guaranteed. Call Certified Tax at 800-440-5360. That's 800-440-5360. Again, 800-440-5360.
If you drive a car, you must have this number, 1-800-828-0159. The number to STI Towing, the Tri-State's towing pros. STI handles most motor clubs, including AAA, and they offer prompt, courteous, and professional service all day and all night. Mention Real Talk 1160 and the first 5 miles are free. That's 1-800-828-0159. 1-800-828-0159 for STI Towing.
We know you should be working, but seeing as you're on Facebook already, why not flip over to the 1160 page and tell us what you think? Then go to 1160.com and listen while you're online. We're worldwide. Real Talk 1160.
Hi folks, Debbie. Rob Key with Robkey Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Robkey for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Robkey Automotive, where quality is superior. Our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Robkey and see why our customers are always smiling. Robkey Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at GoRobkey.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Did you know Fear Buick GMC in Hamilton has been family-owned and operated and serving the tri-state since 1932? Isn't that the kind of dealership you want to buy your next car from? And because of that success, Fear Buick GMC announces their upcoming move later this year to their new 26,000 square foot location between Menards and Kohl's near Bridgewater Falls. Come see Ray Tenley, Fear's general manager for the past 25 years, and tell him Dipsticks and Deals sent you. Call 513-863-8111 or visit fearmotors.com. That's FIEHRER Motors.com.
It's not always easy to recognize insurance fraud. Stop, call, and confirm. Stop before signing, paying, or providing personal information. Call your state insurance department and confirm that the company or agent is licensed to sell insurance in your state. Visit insureyouonline.org today.
Hi, I'm Jeff Pecora, one of the voices of the Cincinnati Reds, and I'm here with Colleen Hawes, owner of the premier casual upscale restaurant, Grandview Tavern and Grill.
Thank you, Jeff. It's a place where business meets casual in a social setting. Come enjoy our New York strips, bacon-wrapped shrimp and grits, or specials like pan-seared sea bass, and don't skip dessert. I promise they are worth the calories.
My wife can't get enough of your handmade specialty pizzas, and I love train beers.
Nothing's better than watching our Reds win on one of our 16 flat-screen TVs.
I found the Grandview Tavern and Grill to be the best place for lunch meetings with incredible food and impeccable service.
I'm so excited to be out on the patio again. We pack them in out there. Whether you're here to network for business, have an intimate dinner for two, or dance the night away to live music under the stars, this place is for everyone.
Yeah, since coming to the Grandview Tavern, we feel more comfortable than any of the other restaurants. And by the way, Colleen, your outdoor patio rocks.
Jeff, you're too much. Just Google Grandview Tavern and Grill for the latest happenings and list of music.
Check us out and listen online in crystal clarity. RealTalk1160.com.
Dipsticks and Deals. Jimmy B, the third wheel, and Kenny Coltrane sitting in with us. And before we went to break, third wheel was digging up some Animal House movie trivia on their cars.
It's classic cars in that movie.
Yeah, there were a lot of classic cars.
And for all you young folks, this was the best college movie in the world.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go get it.
You had the 1959 Chevrolet Corvette.
Otters?
Eric Otterstrat.
Yep.
You got it. The 1964 Lincoln Flounder.
Flounders,
Remember they went to the bar and everything?
Yeah.
You mind if I dance with your date?
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Did that thing have a tank turret on the top of it or something?
The tank?
What did they modify on that car? Oh, that's the Deathmobile.
That's the
I'm thinking.
Deathmobile, and that was a 1966 Lincoln.
Yeah, and that one they modified had like a submarine turret or whatever on the top of it.
And then they had those 62 Dodge Custom 880 police cars.
Yes, they did.
And then when Bluto, which was played by John Belushi, when he kidnapped that young lady and threw her in that car.
That's right.
The 61 Buick Electra, 225 convertible.
Awesome.
Woo-hoo. And then it looks like somebody had, I don't even remember this car, the 60 MGA 1600 Roadster. Is that the one where he told that girl his girlfriend's dead?
I don't know. I know that was that rich kid.
Oh, it was the preppy kid.
The prep kid as he drove that car.
Okay, I remember that.
That's a rare car, too, the MGA. We were also looking here at a couple of cars that we didn't include in our movie list because they really were made famous on TV and then in movies, or they were just a famous TV car, and Coltrane knows a lot of these cars. But we already mentioned the 69 Charger, the General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard.
Do you know in the movie remake, they had like 16 of those cars?
Right.
Knight Rider.
And only one of them was worth a crap.
That's right. The rest of them were old road runners and things, Cornettes
tell Kenny
that
to
they
slow
tore
down.
up.
The Mystery Mobile.
Tell Kenny to slow
Mystery Mobile from Scooby-Doo.
Yep.
Yeah, that was famous. You said Kit.
Kit.
The Trans Am from Knight Rider. Starsky and Hutch, the Striped Tomato, which was a 73 Torino. How about Magnum PI, the Ferrari 308 GT?
Was that 81?
81, I believe it was. Ferrari. Austin Powers had some. He had the Mini Cooper and he had the Jaguar.
That was a movie, though.
Those were movies. I didn't, because they weren't.
Just stop talking about that right now. We're done with that segment.
Boy, you're going to get hit. What else did we
What
have?
about Andy Griffith?
He had a police car.
A police car?
No, but didn't he have some old cars that he drove around in, those old 50s? And
Well, yeah,
60s?
but they weren't famous TV cars. Like the Batmobile's a famous TV car.
It is pretty famous.
Speed Racer.
The
Speed
Racer.
Boom, boom.
I don't think that's a real car, but it was a good try.
It's a cartoon.
How about the A-Team van?
Ooh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Another pity a fool.
Another famous movie car that we didn't mention was from Dumb and Dumber.
The van, the Volkswagen?
The Mutt Cuts.
Is that the Volkswagen?
Shaggin' Wagon.
The Shaggin' Wagon,
The
yeah.
Shaggin' Wagon.
Yeah, remember that?
That's our producer.
That was a
there.
Ford
He has one.
Econoline van, I think is what that was.
Tyler has one.
He has the Shaggin' Wagon. Is that his
Say
dog
your
van
chicks
out
love
there?
it.
Chicks do dig big ears.
Didn't Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have a van too? A VW bus? They did.
They did.
They ran around
They
in
sure
an old
did.
VW bus. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's awesome. We got anything else on movies? Cars and movies? TV shows and movies?
Anybody think of one off the top of their head?
No.
Is there anything out there current that centers around a car or has a famous car or to-be famous car?
Well, they try
in
to
it?
bring back the Knight Rider thing. That didn't work out too well.
You can't bring it back without the Hoff.
He's in Germany.
That's right. I'm just trying to think, are there any current movies out there that are centered around automobiles or have hot cars in them?
Besides the Fast and Furious?
Is that current?
That's a movie.
Yeah, but is it current?
Yeah.
We talked about Eleanor from Fast and Furious.
Well,
I mean,
you guys
can't go through all the cars that are in that movie.
You guys out there, if you can think of anything, go ahead and text us, Facebook us, or email us, and we'll read it on the air because we're sort of stumped that there are no car shows anymore.
Well, Transformers is done.
That's a movie. I'm talking about
Right.
TV car
TV
shows.
shows. Gosh, I don't know.
Well, Monk, he doesn't drive.
Why you got to bring up Monk?
Because he doesn't drive.
Okay, well, that's not a car.
Well, I'm just trying to break down
a
the
show with a
list.
car. Well, we're not going to go through every television show, but thank you.
Can I sit next to you now, Jimmy B?
No, you stay over there. We're going to go tailgating.
I do know something real quick before you do that.
Oh, my God. Go ahead.
Hawaii 5-0,
Yes.
which is sponsored by Chevy.
Yes.
They'll have the Camaro and some other cars and trucks on that show.
Okay.
And that is highlighted for them, I mean.
Right. Yeah, there'll be big
Right.
parts of the show.
Yeah, they'll really put an emphasis on those cars.
Like when you say big words like that.
Emphasis.
You know one we didn't mention real quick before we go tailgating?
What's that?
The Green Hornet.
The Green Hornet.
What were they, though?
That was a Lincoln.
Bruce Lee.
I think Imperial. Chrysler Imperial or Lincoln something.
Now, that was both. That was a movie and a...
It was, which
series.
is why it wasn't on our list.
Right.
But when we're sitting there talking about TV, and
But it was both, yeah.
I mean, that's comic strip stuff, I guess, really. But the Green Hornet had that bad car. I think it had missiles and machine guns and
bulletproof.
Well, sure.
All that kind of stuff. Which there's some James Bond cars we didn't talk about either. But the Lotus Esprit, and some of the original ones, some Ferraris, some Aston Martins, some really good stuff. Let's go tailgating. We said we were going to do this on Facebook. I've got today something easy to make when you go tailgating or you're at the race. This is our pit stop recipe for the day. I'm going to tell you how to make the best cheese ball in the world. You ready for this, Coltrane?
Absolutely.
Okay, this is like a spicy cheese ball, and all you're going to need is 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, 3/4 cups shredded cheddar.
Mm-hmm.
Get a 1/4 cup of pepper jack shredded.
Pepper jack.
Are you writing this down?
Yes.
A half a green bell pepper. You want to mince that up. 1 jalapeno. 1 teaspoon Worcestershire sauce. Can you say that? Can you say that?
Worcestershire sauce?
Coltrane, can you say Worcestershire sauce?
Worcestershire sauce.
Okay. A half teaspoon of garlic. And all you're going to do in a medium bowl is combine the cream cheese, cheddar cheese, Monterey Jack cheese, throw in the green bell pepper, the jalapeno pepper, put the Worcestershire sauce and the garlic salt, and mix it all together. When you get this thing, obviously it's a cheese ball. Roll it into a ball, and then roll it through some cilantro. Get your favorite crackers, some Melba toast. I'm telling you what, this is the best cheese ball for a tailgate party or a pre-race tailgate you'll ever have.
And what's cool, you don't even have to clean your hands when you make it because it's at a tailgate. So
You just lick your fingers.
Just roughing it.
That's right. And that's good. Listen, something else you need to take is a citrus beer punch that I make. And I'm going to give you the secret because this is some good stuff. It's like drinking candy. You're going to need 24 ounces of beer. I use light beer of your choice. You're going to need a cup of grapefruit juice, and you want to chill that. 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water, and then get 6 lemons.
Where are you going with this?
Here's what you're going to do. You're going to juice the lemons, and then you're going to slice the peels really thin. You're going to stir in the sugar and the water, put it in a saucepan, and bring it to a boil. Once it starts to boil, take it off the heat and stick those lemon peels in there. Cover it and let it stand and let it set for about 5 minutes. Take the peels out, add the lemon juice in that you squeezed, the grapefruit juice, stir it till it's mixed well, put it in a pitcher. You want to let this chill for about 3 hours. Now, the ingredient I hadn't put in yet was the beer because you don't want beer to get flat. So you can make all of this the night before, but you don't want to put the beer in till you get there. So when you do, you pull the chilled stuff out, put it in an iced cooler, take you some beer mugs or some red Solo cups, pour it in there. You can garnish it with lemon slices, but then you go ahead and pour that beer in to top it off.
What's that called again?
It's a citrus beer punch.
So you can get these recipes on our Facebook or
We're
on our website.
We're going to put them on our blog, our Facebook, and our website.
That reminds me of one thing. You're talking about these recipes. A few years back, I was up in a conference with a bunch of guys from Wisconsin. And and then the Cheeseheads were here, or we were playing Green Bay the other day for the Bungles.
Correct.
Do you know what one of their favorite beer and how to drink their beer is?
Don't they jump right in the vat like that movie?
No, I think a lot of them wish they could. But they put green olives, big, fat green olives in their beer.
It's Milwaukee's best, ain't it?
I don't know what it is, but, man, they put this green beer. Now, I didn't like those olives in there at first.
You tried it?
But I drank it. But then you just think about the salt in the beer.
Yeah.
And that's the concept. But they put the olives in their beer. So I drank about 30 pitchers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I might bring another secretive drink, which is not really a secret, but the beer garita. The beer garita.
Oh yeah, doesn't Bud Light Lime have that?
Well, it's similar, and you can use that. But I'll tell you how to make a margarita with beer.
Sounds like you already had one.
Yeah,
man, them are good. But I'm telling you, when you tailgate, if you're at the race, you're at a ball game, and you're tailgating, this cheese ball recipe and that citrus beer punch, man, together, awesome. When we come back, we're going to talk about some more car stuff, of course. Dipsticks and deals on Real Talk 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the tri-state. For this afternoon, sunny, high 92. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 70. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high near 84. And a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 8 a.m. Monday night, cloudy, low 67. And a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. From the Real Talk 1160 Weather Bug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
Hey folks, Jimmy B here. Did you know that one of the most important structural aspects of your vehicle is the windshield? It accounts for almost 50% of the rollover strength. That's why you must choose the right company for windshield repair and replacement, and that's Mel's Auto Glass. Mel's Auto Glass has certified professionals serving the tri-state for more than 25 years. Don't trust something so important to anyone else. The experts at Mel's Auto Glass for quality, value, and peace of mind. Call 513-563-7771. That's 513-563-7771.
Jerry Doyle.
One of my doctors from Cuba said that if I was in the Cuban healthcare system or the British healthcare system, or if I was in the Obamacare system 5 years from now, you'd already have a toe tag.
The Jerry Doyle Show, weeknights at 7 on Real Talk 1160.
Hey, it's the Wild Man for Cricket Wireless. It's never made more sense to switch to Cricket than right now. Android phones starting at $39.99 when you switch from another carrier. And now save an extra $120 a year on your plan with unlimited data, talk, text, and music. Plus, you get Move Music. Millions of song downloads included, all for one low rate. Sign up today only at a Cricket store or mycricket.com. Tell them the Wild Man sent you. Cricket, your call.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Valid when switching from T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, or AT&T. Requires new activation. See store for plan, data usage, and coverage details. Terms and conditions apply.
Want to get more from your personal Bible study time? Gain new insights and a deeper understanding of Scripture? You can do just that with R.C. Sproul's DVD series, Knowing Scripture. Whether you are just beginning to read the Bible or a long-time student, you'll find these 12 lessons will take you deeper into God's Word.
But let us move then to a consideration of the principles that are important to become masters of the Word of God.
This 12-part DVD teaching series is yours today for a gift of any amount. Dr. Sproul introduces time-tested principles to help unlock the true meaning of Bible passages so you can apply them to your own life. Call Ligonier Ministries now at 1-800-435-4343 to get your copy of Dr. Sproul's Knowing Scripture for your gift of any amount. That's 1-800-435-4343.
Hi folks, Debbie Robke with Robke Automotive. I'm here to tell you about Northern Kentucky's best full-service used car store. Shop Robke for sales, service, parts, collision repair, and rental car. Robke Automotive, where quality is superior. Our prices can't be beat, our service is guaranteed, and our parts come with a national warranty. Come visit Robke and see why our customers are always smiling. Robke Automotive, I-275 at Exit 80 in Northern Kentucky, on the web at GoRobke.com, or check us out on Facebook for fantastic deals of the week.
We're driven to treat you right.
Savage. How could you still be a liberal? Everything that the Enlightenment stands for, they stand against. So how can you as a liberal not comprehend what you're fighting for here?
Michael Savage, weekdays at noon on Real Talk 1160.
How's the expansion plans going for your business?
Oh, I'm holding off until the economy improves.
Really? Are your competitors on hold for the next few years?
Well,
I'm not waiting. I called General Steel Corporation. Their steel buildings have been used for businesses, churches, and schools around the world. They showed me how to save real money on a building designed for my needs and to my specifications. I can actually operate more efficiently in a building they helped me design. While my competitors are sitting on the sidelines waiting for economic change, I'm going to make my own change and take market share. When this economy turns around, I'll be in the lead. Come on, you didn't start your business by waiting for someone to tell you when the time is right. Stop sitting on your hands and pick up the phone. And ask about these rebates that can save you up to $20,000.
Call 800-215-2418, 800-215-2418. That's 800-215-2418.
Listen and be enlightened. Real Talk 1160.
Dipsticks and deals. Okay, Wilbur. Jimmy B, the third wheel. Kenny Coltrane's here. Mm-hmm. Hey, remember to become a fan of our Facebook page. We're trying to build this show, and it's going along quite nicely, thanks to all of you out there listening, the American Engine.
And
but
me.
We need to show the people who support this that it is absolutely a viable radio show on Sunday morning. So like our Facebook page. We'd really appreciate that. Any comments, suggestions, you can always email us or Facebook message us. It's either way. But ask at dipsticksanddeals.com. Jimmy B at dipsticksanddeals.com. The Third Wheel at dipsticksanddeals.com. Tune in on the TuneIn Radio app, Radio Loyalty app. You can live stream our show. So we get out a lot further than the tri-state. In fact, we've mentioned this before. The second largest listener base that we have on our show is from the New England area. Boston, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, upstate Pennsylvania, which is really cool, and we really appreciate all those folks tuning in. We actually had somebody friend our Facebook that we also see tagged listening to our show archives from Italy. So, can't say it's not growing.
We've got fans everywhere.
We do.
Hello to Italy.
Hello to Italy. Hey, we were doing our pre-race tailgating.
Little pit stop action.
Little pit stop recipes for you here, and we talked about a really, really good cheese ball, which we'll put that on our website and Facebook page for you if you didn't catch it, because we did go through it kind of fast. Really good drink to make while you're out. Really easy to make.
But don't drive.
Don't drink and drive it. Don't. We know that, but we always have to say that. Wait until you get to where you're going and be sober before you leave, obviously, or have a designated driver.
Exactly.
Kenny Coltrane, I know you've done a lot of tailgating.
Yes.
Do you ride your bike down before the Bengals game?
I sure do.
What kind of tailgating stuff do you partake of?
I used to grill a lot, but I've been banned from any open fires and any tailgates. But that's another day. I like the fried green taters, tater skins, and Hudipole.
Hudipole.
And if you got some mac and cheese, I'm not going to be mad at you.
How's your heart?
Yeah. Been to the doctor lately? Do they still make Hudipole?
Yes.
Regular, not Hudie Delight, but regular Hudipole beer?
I'm not sure. The guy who came back into the...
I got stuff from the 80s I still drink from time to time.
That's nice and rusty.
Nice. In the steel cans. Awesome.
Hey, I wanted to say something real quick.
Okay, say it.
I know Bob is our favorite fan out there.
Yes, Bob is.
But we forgot to mention a few cars again in these TV shows. In 1962 to 1969, the show The Saint.
Yes.
He drove a 1962 Volvo P1800.
Right.
So I want to tell you that. Roger Moore. And probably the most famous party bus in the whole wide world.
I can't believe we missed this one.
The 1955 Chevrolet 6700 series bus from the famous singing family, the Partridge Family.
That's right.
What's that have to do with Bob?
Because Bob is old.
And Bob's the one who's emailing us, telling us, hey, you forgot a couple of big ones.
Yeah, and then he says take those buses and cars and put them in gold.
Oh.
His investments.
That was an outside joke.
Yeah, it was an outside joke. Well, actually, it was on air.
It was on air, so everybody that's listening knows what we're talking about. So.
Now, this is a good shout-out to our buddy Matt, Miami Vice.
Oh, yeah, Miami Vice,
You cannot forget corrupt police officers buying expensive cars on a police budget.
Oh, that's right.
It won't happen.
What was that car?
1972 Ferrari 365 GTS.
That's right.
I got another one, speaking of Matt. Good friend of ours had one of these.
Oh, the old
Rockford Files.
Yes.
James Rockford.
Yes.
He drove a Firebird.
That he did.
Yes, he did. Hey, how about our tech tip of the week? Comes to us from Kyle Lawson, an ASE Master Tech. Works at Lawson Auto Care in Bellefontaine, Ohio. I like that, Bellefontaine.
Bellefontaine.
It's like I always wished I was from Saskatchewan. Just so when people say, hey, where are you from? I can say, Saskatchewan.
No, I like that one.
Sounds like something you would eat. We're going to talk about ethnicity here in a minute, too. Here's his tip. You can lose a full volt of battery power between the positive and negative terminals when your battery's dirty and corroded. Have your battery top and terminals cleaned at every other oil change. Low voltage can cause onboard computer problems, and he's right. We have seen this. You can lose an entire volt across the top of the battery. Low voltage affects memory, affects sensors. They won't initiate if they see low voltage. Your theft system can be affected by a voltage drop, so make sure you have your battery cleaned, especially going into winter. We have the right. I shouldn't say we have the right. We think we have the okay sometimes to talk like I did earlier in a Asian accent that switched quickly to Cuban.
Yeah.
That's because the third wheel is actually part
a mutt,
Pacific Islander kind of guy. I have some Jewish blood.
Indian,
so
too.
we
You
can,
look like
and
an
Indian. I've got a lot of Cherokee. Yeah. So we can talk about them on the air. Coltrane, where are you from?
Nobody knows. I don't even know. I'm like the real Joe Dirt.
You know what? I knew he reminded me of somebody, and I couldn't think of who
I don't
it
know.
was.
I have any. I mean, what do I look like to you? Tell me. MacGyver?
David Hasselhoff?
Brad Pitt? No. Hey, we want to remind everybody, too, about our gas, cash, or crash contest. Third wheel. What's the question?
The question is what is the date that Doc, that was Doc, set in the DeLorean time machine for he and Marty and back? No, that's not it.
That's last week, you turd.
Wow. Again.
Drunk and stupid is no way to go through life.
I don't know if Jimmy B's doing this to me on purpose, but when we do the show format, it's supposed to be.
Do you need me to read it?
I need you to do something, and I don't know about reading it.
This week's Facebook question of the day.
That's 3 times he's done that to me since the show started.
Name the car that people used to say looked like an Oldsmobile sucking on a lemon. That's the question. It has nothing to do with Back to the Future. You need to come back to the present, third wheel.
Who stole my paperwork?
That was last week, bro. Wow. I got an email here from Jan W. My check engine light's been going off for about a month. I've had it to an auto parts store to check it twice, and they say there are no codes. What could be causing the light to come on? Jan, the computer on your car is going to do a drive cycle test when you're driving, and what that basically means is it's going to do periodic tests. You won't need to know about it, but it's testing different systems and cycles in the car. If it doesn't see the fault during one of those tests, it's going to turn that light out. You probably have an intermittent problem. It may have stored a code in history that a service shop, not an auto parts store, can retrieve and have something to go on. That's not always the case, but more sophisticated test equipment can show the fault history even if the light's not on. So you need to have a service shop take a look at it instead of a parts store. Usually it's a small evaporative emission issue like a sticking solenoid or valve, not a real big issue. Just understand that anything that affects the emission output from the tailpipe is going to cue the light. It's going to affect fuel mileage, and most importantly, don't ignore it because it can hurt your catalytic converter too. So that's an email from Jan, and she gets a free Dipsticks and Deals T-shirt for that question.
Jan.
Thank you, Jan.
That's awesome.
Cool. What else you got before we go to the song of the week there, third wheel? Something preferably from this week rather than last week.
I don't know what one of you guys took my my paperwork on this format, but for some reason it's gone.
Okay.
Don't hook your toaster to your batteries.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Don't hook your toaster to your batteries in your car. That kind of be another reason why your lights might not work right.
So I guess you tried to toast with your car battery. Is that what you're saying?
When I had a car, that's the only way I did eat.
Okay. You know what they say.
Stupid.
Toasters don't toast bread. People toast bread.
Okay. That
Song of the
leads us-
week.
Song of the week, 1975, which is actually one of my favorite songs.
Break it down now.
Is Low Rider by War. Number 1 on Billboard R&B charts and reached number 7 on the pop singles chart in 1975. A song about the Chicano car culture in 1970 that featured lowriders with hydraulics or switches.
All right, that you can't do. You can't say Chicano.
I can say anything, man.
I was thinking about the movie Cheech and Chong. What was the car they had? Was that an Impala?
It's an Impala Lowrider. We'll see you guys next week. We appreciate you listening. This is Jimmy B, the third wheel, and Kenny Coltrane.
Goodbye.
Real Talk 1160.